All right. Racheal Fogarty, Literacy Foundations 2, 337. Today's date is 7/29/23. Strategy, determining importance and synthesizing. Have you ever read any books that you have been able to relate to, like relate to something that's gone on in your life?
That's a really good type. I'm gonna have to say Dogman books.
Okay. Have you read any books that had any social issues? Do you know what social issues are?
That made me emotion.
Social issues are basically like someone being homeless, bullying, stuff like that.
Yes.
Okay.
It was a book called I'd Out.
Okay, so I'm going to read we're gonna have a story again. I'm gonna share my screen here in a minute with you, and we're gonna read a book or listen to the book The Bernstein Bears and the Bully by Stan and Jan Jostein. So what I would like you to do, this is where you need your piece of paper and the pencil, and while we listen to the story, I would like you to write down, what did the character learn, and could you relate to any part of the story? So basically, did you get anything from the story, kind of thing?
Good.
All right. If I can get it to play.
Our class literally used to watch this like all the time.
This used to be one of my favorite books as a kid. All right.
Okay, so you know Grammarly, but Grammarly now has a new product, Grammarly Go.
Okay,
Grammarly Go provides
second.
AI communication.
I make homemade yogurt. All right. Because he's American.
One day, Mama, Papa,
Can you hear it?
Bear were busy in the yard when Sister Bear came home crying. Her face was scratched and
Oh
dirty.
no, I'm looking at how to make fresh
happened?
yogurt right now.
Mama,
All right, hold on one second.
please tell us, said Papa.
For the milk.
Brother couldn't.
Nope, that's not what you need.
Sister looked.
Give me 1 second.
Her jumper and blouse were torn. Her face
They're
and
back
fur
to
were a
the
mess. Even her pink bow was drooping.
Okay.
Did you fall? Asked Mama. Sister shook her head.
Okay, are you seeing the screen now?
Starting a springfall. I'll probably see it in a second.
No. Was there an accident? Asked Papa.
Can't see. Oh, yep, I can see it.
She
Okay.
shook her head no. I think I can tell you what happened, said Brother. It looks to me like somebody beat her up. Beat her up? That's outrageous, said Papa. Who in the world would beat up a sweet little cub like Sister? Asked Mama. A bully might, said Brother. That's when Sister stopped crying long enough to get some words out. Brother's right, she sobbed. A no-good, nasty, rotten bully beat me up. And for no reason. Just the thought of it made her so angry that she started to cry all over again. Mama and Papa helped Sister up the stairs and into the house. After a drink of water, she calmed down enough to tell them what had happened. Lizzie, Queenie, and I were playing tag at the playground when this new cub, a no-good bully named Tuffy, stuck out a foot and tripped me. So I got up and said, Why don't you watch where you put your feet? Before I knew what was happening, it was pow, bam, whammo, and I was flat on my back with this Tuffy character sitting on my chest, rubbing dirt in my face. Outrageous, roared Papa. Where's my hat? I'm going over to that playground and... Mama pulled Papa aside. You're going to do no such thing, she said. But something has to be done, Papa said. Indeed it does, agreed Mama. But right now, we have to take care of Sister. She turned to call, Brother, would you please get me a wet wash? Where's Brother? Don't know, said Sister. He was here a minute ago, and the next minute he was gone. Lizzie and Queenie were still at the playground when Brother got there. I've got a knuckle sandwich for some bully named Tuffy, he said. Where is he? Brother, said Lizzie. I think there's something you ought to. Never mind the small talk, he growled. Just point him out and get out of the way. Lizzie shrugged and pointed to the small building that housed the boys' room and the girls' room. But there was no one there. No one, that is, but a little girl who was coming out of the girls' room. But hold everything. The little girl was wearing a t-shirt that said Tuffy. You're Tuffy? Said Brother. Yeah, she said. Want to make something out of it? But you're a girl, said Brother. What did you expect me to be? An eggplant? Said Tuffy. Brother Bear was shocked right down to his very bones. The big bully he was going to clean up the playground with was not only a girl, but a little girl at that, maybe even a little bit smaller than Sister. When Lizzie and Queenie came over to watch, Tuffy figured out who Brother was. Hey, she said, you must be the big brother of that little Miss Pink Hairbow. She got fresh, so I cleaned her clock. Want to make something out of it? That was exactly what Brother wanted to do, but there was no way he could hit a girl. If he did, then he'd be the bully. It was all he could do to turn away and leave. Chicken, just like your sister, yelled Tuffy. Brother headed home, hands in pockets, staring at the ground. Something had to be done, but what? As he passed the school, Brother got an idea, but he would have to hurry. It was Friday afternoon, and the school would be closing for the weekend. He hoped Mr. Grismeyer, the gym teacher, hadn't left yet. When Brother got home, he was carrying something in a big bag. Instead of going in the front door, he quietly opened the side hatch and dropped the bag into the cellar. Then he closed the hatch and rejoined the family by going in the front door. Where have you been? Asked Mama. We've been having a family meeting. I was just checking out the playground, Brother said. And no doubt you found out that Tuffy is a girl, said Mama. We've been discussing the situation and have pretty much decided that the best thing for Sister to do is simply avoid this awful Tuffy person. Then, too, you'll be at school, and you can keep an eye on Sister. What do you think of the plan? It's okay, said Brother, but Sister's the one that got beat up. What does she think? It's okay, I guess, said Sister. But what I'd really like to do is punch that Tuffy's nose right through her face, then kick her in the shin, then knock her down and... Now, Sister, said Mama, we've been through all that. Good, thought Brother. She and I are on the same wavelength. Before dinner, Brother passed Sister a note. It said, important. Meet me in the cellar at 7 o'clock. The first thing Sister saw when she showed up for the secret meeting was one of Mama's big bags of dried beans sitting on a stool. There was a drawing of a face marked Tuffy taped to it, and Brother was standing beside it, holding the bag he had gotten at school. He also had a book. "What's this all about?" asked Sister. "It's about that Tuffy character, and you not getting beat up again," Brother said. "Sounds good so far," said Sister. "Mama's bag of beans is a punching bag," Brother said. "A punching bag named Tuffy," said Sister. "Perfect." She gave the bag a pretty good punch. "Not bad," said Brother. "What's in the other bag?" Sister asked. "Boxing gloves," Brother said. "And this book is called The Art of Self-Defense." "Where did you get all that stuff?" asked Sister. "From Mr. Grismeyer. I told him I had a friend who was having trouble with a bully. We've got it just for the weekend. It goes back Monday morning." "Then what are we waiting for?" Sister said. "Let's get started." Sister turned out to be a good student of the art of self-defense. With Brother's help, she learned the left jab, the right cross, the left hook, and the uppercut. She also learned to duck. And she punched Mama's dried beans silly. "Well, you learned quite a lot over the weekend," Brother said on Monday morning. "But there's something very important for you to remember. You still have to avoid Tuffy. She's a mean little thing. She was even ready to take me on." "Don't worry," said Sister. "I can still feel where she socked me on the jaw." Sister did a good job of avoiding Tuffy. She avoided her all day Monday. And all day Tuesday. But at recess on Wednesday, Tuffy did something so mean and nasty that Sister just had to do something. Tuffy was throwing stones at a baby bird that couldn't fly yet. "Stop that, you bully," shouted Sister. "You'll hurt that baby bird." "Well, if it isn't little Miss Pink Hairbow," said Tuffy. "You know something? I'd much rather hurt you." She rushed at Sister with her hard little fists ready. But Sister was ready too. She had her left out and her right up, protecting her jaw. Then Tuffy threw a hard right. Sister ducked, then hit her square in the nose with a right cross. That quickly, Tuffy found herself sitting on the ground with a bloody nose. And almost that quickly, one of the recess teachers swooped down on Sister and Tuffy, pulled them into school, and sat them on the principal's discipline bench. Sister's mind was a blurry mix of pride that she had protected the baby bird and shock that she was sitting on the principal's famous discipline bench. She was even more shocked when she saw that Tuffy was crying. "What are you crying about? I only hit you once," Sister said. "I'm not crying about that," said Tuffy. "Then what are you crying about?" Sister couldn't help wondering what could make a cub as tough and mean as Tuffy cry. "If the principal tells my mom and dad about this," said Tuffy, "I won't be able to sit down for a long time." Thought Sister. Here's a cub who maybe gets hit a lot at home. Maybe that's why she likes to hit other cubs at school. But Sister didn't think about that for long. She was too worried about what was going to happen to her. Mr. Honeycomb, the principal, was very strict about fighting. The way it turned out, one of the other recess teachers had seen the whole thing and told Mr. Honeycomb that Sister was just trying to protect a baby bird. So Mr. Honeycomb let Sister off with a warning. As for Tuffy, the principal didn't call her parents, but she did lose a week of recess, and she had to visit the school psychologist twice a week for quite a while. The end. Thank you for listening.
All right. So, can you tell me what what Sister Bear might have learned?
That you shouldn't be mean to people if only they're hurting someone bad.
Okay. What are some actions that maybe that we could have taken or you could have taken with this story, with like the bully or with the bully? Have you ever been bullied or know somebody that has?
No.
Okay.
Because if I get bullied, I immediately walk away.
Okay. So you took an action there. You're expressing that you're not tolerating it. How do you think the book could change someone's opinions or actions?
Maybe to realize that violence isn't the answer.
Okay. And what do you think you could do if you had a friend that was getting bullied? What could you help with that issue?
Try and stand up and tell the teacher what's happening.
Okay. And last question is, what is something that you might want others to learn?
That it's always good to learn self-defense in cases that could be very bad.
Alrighty. And that is